What would you do if the most powerful man in the company walked into his own bank branch, but no one knew who he really was? That is exactly what happened one rainy Monday morning when Richard Hale, the CEO of a nationwide banking corporation, decided to step into one of his branches undercover, dressed in a simple gray suit with no security or cameras. Just a quiet mission to see how his employees worked when no one was watching. At first, everything looked perfectly normal, with customers lined up, staff rushing behind counters, and the sound of keyboards clicking in rhythm. But then Richard froze in place as he caught the sound of a trembling voice. It was a young teller trying to serve a customer while quietly wiping her eyes, her hands shaking as she counted the bills. And despite her best effort, her emotions were spilling over. He lingered nearby, pretending to fill out a deposit slip, and soon he overheard her whisper to a colleague, "I can't do this anymore. They keep yelling at me and no one even cares." Words that pierced through the noise of the busy branch. Richard's heart sank. She wasn't just tired of rude customers. She was broken by the lack of support and respect from her own workplace. When his turn came, Richard stepped to her counter and gently told her, "You're doing your best. Don't let anyone make you feel small." For a brief moment, her eyes lit up at the kindness. But that fragile comfort shattered when her manager stormed over, scolding her harshly in front of every customer for being too slow. The entire room went silent. Customers stared. The young teller lowered her head in shame, and her tears returned, yet before anyone could blink, Richard calmly pulled out his ID card and placed it on the counter. The golden letters clear as day, Chief Executive Officer. Gasps spread through the bank, and the manager's face turned pale as Richard's voice carried across the room, firm but controlled. "No one under my leadership will ever be humiliated like this again. This young woman deserves respect, not shame." Right there in front of staff and customers, he called HR, and the manager was removed from duty that same day, while the teller was offered a new role, where her honesty and kindness could shine. But the twist came later when Richard learned that this very teller had once been rejected by another branch because someone claimed she was too soft-hearted for banking. And yet here she was, proving that her compassion was exactly what the company needed most. That undercover visit was never supposed to change lives, but it became a story whispered across the entire corporation. A reminder that sometimes the smallest voices reveal the biggest truths. If you felt the power of this story and believe more people should hear it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories that inspire and open hearts.